I'd like to welcome you all to our Lunch Club Travel Edition, where for the month of February, we have our Black History Month theme. And today we'll be looking at braids, locks, and afros, a cultural celebration. So without further ado, Lou, please take it.
Well, thanks. One of the highlights of the week is being on this call. Thank you all for joining. This is a really exciting month and exciting topic. So, without further ado, let's take it away. The braids, locks, and afros, a cultural celebration.
We're not just talking about hairstyles, we're talking about history and identity, resistance, and pride. Black hair has always told a story. It tells where we come from, what we survived, and how we express ourselves. We invite you to reflect on your own hair journey, the styles you've worn, the memories attached to them, and what hair has meant in your life. So, we'd like to invite you to some of these opening questions. What hairstyles do you remember from your childhood? Who used to do your hair? What did hair represent in your family? Anyone would like to share?
Oh my, these are good questions.
So, probably
It's
maybe parents.
Afro bushes.
Afro bushes. Who
Hmm.
helped you get your look together?
Yep. And then on Easter we get Shirley Temple curls.
Yep, Shirley.
Okay. What did hair represent in your family, Miss Denise?
The um um I don't know. I guess just being African American, then
Oh,
them the hairstyles we mostly rock with back in the days was the bushes and Shirley Temple curls. And it meant a lot to us. And then later on the braids came in. And
yes.
we'll put symbols on them, little African, symbols like elephants, giraffes. Then was the beads, yeah, called the beads.
All kinds
Yeah.
of things, right? And
Uh-huh.
it you said it represented you, and I can understand you. We may not think about this every day. I certainly
Right.
don't. So, but your
Uh-huh.
hair can definitely represent a lot. So I thank you for sharing. Anyone
Sure.
else or Lou, would any responses to these questions?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I was never big, to be honest with you, maybe my mother was cheap, though I loved her to death. She used to put a bowl on my head and cut around the edges. I mean, that's for real, for
Yeah,
real.
a lot of people
Hmm.
did that.
I've never heard of that.
Hmm.
That's a Detroit thing.
But you're that you said your parents, your family. Is that who mostly did your hair, everyone? A family member or a parent?
Yeah, my mom used to cut my brother's hair.
Oh, okay. Was it different, from your hair versus his hair?
No, not really. But my dad didn't get into all of that. He go and get his cut by his friends. But my two brothers, three brothers, my mom.
I, I know my grandma, she would take me a hairdresser with her sometime, and she would get finger waves.
Yeah, finger
Yeah,
waves.
Uh-huh. That was her
Still,
style.
still have those to this day. All of these are
Mm-hmm.
still here to this day, which I love.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So just think about the memories of getting your hair done and you
So
know, just think about those and
I think
uh,
it became a tradition. My brother still cut one of my sister's hair and cut his own too.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the braids, the black.
Yeah,
When
braids and
I
the
was
flat.
a little girl, they called them pigtails.
Yeah.
We wore braids, but they were
I
called
love it.
pigtails.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pigtails.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sure was.
I love
Oh,
that.
African bush balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh. I
Oh,
love
Or
I love everything that you
And
guys are sharing.
cornrows.
Cornrows. Oh,
Hmm.
I've
but you
seen it.
but you know a show that you can watch, you see all that? Soul Train.
yeah.
Of course.
Soul
All the
Train
hairstyles.
got all the hairstyles.
Yes. Aren't these hair memories so powerful?
Yeah. The
Yes.
Afro is
For,
not, you know.
for many of you all, many of us, hair meant Saturday nights before church, sitting between someone's knees, getting it braided, the smell of grease and hot combs, and even the
Mm-hmm.
sound
Mm-hmm.
of that comb sizzling on the stove.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh
folks,
Right,
God.
your head like a egg.
Don't remind me.
It was bonding, hair was ritual, hair was care.
hey,
You
cornrows,
know,
they can take hours and hours and hours to put in, can't they?
Yeah.
what's that?
It depends on
Cornrows.
how fast the
Oh
braider
Yeah.
is.
yeah, it
Yeah.
depends what size you want.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
You want them
yeah,
small,
uh-huh.
big.
3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be 3 to 4 hours. It just depends on, again, how, from my experience
And
of
how long
seeing
you
my
want.
friends get their hair done, maybe they get 1 row or two or four or eight. So it also depends on how big the braid is that I
But
see.
back there in the day, it wasn't expensive as it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
It,
day, we did our own hair, whatever your length. Like me and my sisters all had
Mhm.
long hair, so
Mhm.
uh-huh.
we didn't need no extensions or nothing. You know, they just had to
Mhm.
take time
Mm-mm.
and braid it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Mm.
That's right.
So yes, it's a familial thing. It's just a way to care and represent yourself. So yes, Lou, please share.
Sure, sure. Why black hair matters. Hair is identity, hair is culture, hair as resistance, hair as art, hair as community.
Isn't that what we all just shared just now?
Yeah.
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 Yes, your hair. It's so, for generations, black hair was judged and policed and celebrated, hidden, but reclaimed. It has been called too much and then called trendy. It's been a source of discrimination, but also a source of pride.
Yeah.
It's very personal when you talk about hair. So we
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you sharing. But for Black communities, it's also been political as well.
I remember back then they used to say, "Come get your nappy head comb."
Mm-mm. And
You
we don't
be
want
like,
to we don't want to say that. It's beautiful hair. We don't want
"No," but we used to say, "Oh," and when they
right.
comb it, that stuff be hurting like I don't know what. You be like, "Oh God."
Uh-huh. But
Yeah,
all
but
hair is beautiful. Look at these African
Oh my
I
hairstyles
think it
gosh,
is.
look at
before
that.
colonial influence.
Wow.
So look at that. Congo, Chad, Nigeria, Morocco,
Alice,
South
you said
Africa.
this is
Mm.
before
Look,
the colonial influence. Is that what you
okay,
said?
look at the top left. African hairstyles before colonial
Oh my
influence.
gosh, look at that.
Which is your favorite, y'all?
Wow.
What's your favorite?
Mm-hmm.
I love Eritrea. It's very beautiful.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no.
That's
They all look
amazing. Look at
wild.
that.
The
Morocco's looks good. Congo, that looks like
Congo,
Congo is cool. I mean, that's cool.
When I think of
Mm.
Ethiopia, I do think of that hairstyle that I see.
Hmm.
I would say my most intriguing one is Kenya. Look at their hair. Look how they braided their hair.
and they do it like that now too. Still,
Mm-hmm. 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 So these are all different parts of Africa. Madagascar at the top left. Very, very beautiful, I would say. It's very unique.
Chad look like something we used to do
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
really?
with
Yeah.
the ponytail, but we have two ponytails on the side,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then the bow.
Yeah.
Yes, this past month we learned,
Night night.
about the African diaspora and how, unfortunately, these people were, forced out of their country and continent into others. So that's why we see these influences all over the world. I wish more people would recognize that. But that's why we're doing this session today. Isn't that interesting?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
yeah. Uh,
Alex, you
So,
want to hear something funny? When
yes.
when I was young, we didn't have a comb to straighten our hair, and so we used to use the fork. You know the
That's
fork
right.
you eat. You know the fork you eat with.
Right.
We
Yep.
used to put the fork on the fire,
Hmm.
and just do the bang in the front. And so one Saturday night, I was doing my bang, and my hair was not straightened enough. And the fork came down on my forearm and put every teeth of the fork on my forearm, and I still have it today.
oh,
Mm.
Oh my
It's
Mm,
not
goodness.
it's not bright, but it's fading, but it's still there from the hot.
mm,
Wow.
yep.
Ain't nothing like a few battle scars through self-discovery.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, we have so many tools and things of that nature these days. So,
Hmm.
we're very blessed for that. Lou, please take it away.
Sure. So the roots, African origins, hairstyles indicated tribe, marital status, wealth, religion, and social rank.
Mm.
Braiding as bonding and storytelling. Hair as sacred practice.
hmm I have
Amazing.
this. Yes, I have this article here. Give me one moment. That I thought was quite intriguing, and I think so important for our session. So, this is Black History Month, loving natural Afro hair. Please take it away.
Great. Okay, so Afro hair comes in a range of textures, coils, and curls, maintaining an array of protective styles like braids, dreadlocks, twists, amongst many others. Today, the diversity of Afro hair is largely celebrated on both an individual level and a socio-political level. This is largely due to the resurgence of the natural hair movement in the 2000s, alongside current organizations that are fighting to destigmatize the negative stigma around natural hair. The socio-political work acts as a further enabler of freedom of hair expression, as it works to create a climate where natural hair isn't frowned upon and can be fully embraced and loved. Sadly, though, many young and old Black people find difficulty in accepting and finding the beauty in their natural hair due to both subliminal and direct discouragement from individuals and society.
Hmm.
Afro
Hmm.
hair has historically existed as a symbol of identity, heritage, and wealth, where its maintenance was considered a high value activity. So Afro hair has always been a symbol of power for Black people. Unfortunately, this means that there has always been mass restrictions surrounding it to dehumanize and other Black people. For example, during slavery, the civilizing mission by enslavers considered Afro hair to be closer to sheep's wool and was often shaved to make Black people feel more human. The hatred of black hair has persisted centuries later beyond slavery to today. More commonly today, though this is though is the favoring of looser hair textures over tighter coils. This is known as texturism. Though more significant a few years ago, it is still relevant even today, where looser curls are considered to be more beautiful.
Hmm. Isn't that so sad that, even hair can cause people to look down upon others?
Hmm.
It still happens to this day. There's much improvement in that we'll talk about, but isn't isn't
You, you,
this
You know
fascinating?
what's interesting, Alex, is that what as I spend time in different countries in Africa, it's amazing how fragile these norms are.
Hmm
Because over time, being over there, your norm about what looks things changes, and it changes sort of quickly. So we all live in this very fragile norms of what's considered right and wrong, and it's very changeable. That was one
hmm
of the things that astonished me about being over there is how my own perceptions so rapidly changed.
Nothing like experience and seeing different points of views has on a person, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so even here, we'll see this image a bit later on, but know your hair type. So if you would like, look at you could share your hair type. And again, what they say is that about the texturism, that this straight hair, this 1A, if you have 1C hair is more desirable in quotations than maybe 3 or 4. But it's all beautiful. You just have to know how to work it.
Hmm.
So what do y'all think of this chart? Pretty accurate? You've heard of straight hair, to wavy
Mm-hmm.
hair, curly hair,
Mm-hmm.
kinky hair.
Mm-hmm.
Lou, I'm not sure if you've heard these terms before, but if you ever hear 1A, 1B, 2A,
Yeah,
2B, that is
in
the way to
braids.
describe someone's hair type.
They do that in the braids also when you go to
Mm-hmm.
buy it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, to match what your natural hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I showed this to my friend yesterday, and she was like, "You have 1A."
Oh,
Yeah, you
wow.
definitely want.
Yeah. And my friend, she said she has 4A, 4B hair. But
Oh,
her, yeah,
wow.
yeah, but her daughters may have a 3A or 3B and some still 4A. But yes, those are the types of hair.
I wonder if there's also part of it where, you always sort of want something different than what you're born with. I know I got the straightest hair you can get. I'm like one AAA, and I'm zero AAA. And because my parents are from Finland, so they got like crazy straight hair there. And I always wanted wavy hair. And grew up in the 60s and 70s, and some of my friends had afros, and then I always wanted an afro. It's like almost like you always want something different than what you got. At least I did.
Right. I mean that's what they're saying about, the whole, the stereotypes, but the societal norms that, we should all embrace whatever, it's there.
Whatever.
It's something that's natural, something that we are born with.
Mm-hmm.
All hair is beautiful. So, I'm glad you all can see the chart, and I certainly learned so much. When I hear from my friends speaking and I can know what they're talking about, it makes me feel more together. So, um, please continue sharing, Lou.
Great. So the natural hair movement originated in the United States in the 1960s, attempting to encourage those of African diaspora to embrace their natural Afro-textured hair. With its resurgence in the 2000s, targeting the spike of relaxers and perms being used.
Mm,
Beyond this movement, various organizations have fought on a policy to further enable freedom surrounding Afro hair expression. Across the waters, America has the Crown Act, an act created with the intent of ending hair-based discrimination in 2019. Their goal being to ensure protection against discrimination based on race-based hairstyles by extending statutory protection to hair texture and protective styles. The official Crown Act, thecrownact.com. In a similar vein, the UK has the Halo Code, created in 2020. The code seeks to fight the stigma and fix the law, succeeding in some of their goals by aiding in the adaptation of the 2010 Equality Act, making hair a key consideration rather than fitting it under the characteristic of race.
mm,
These movements and advancements highlight how much external work is being done to ensure there is space to love one's own natural hair. Despite the heavy po- uh, policing and the workspace and in schools and universities tend to have less restrictions, making universities one of the perfect places to start or continue embracing your natural hair. With the freedom to experiment in university, experimentation becomes even easier. With the support of activists working to change policy, as well as support from those who acknowledge and appreciate your hair, university again is the perfect chance. There is no perfect formula, and you can just wake up one day and love it. But it
mm,
is a conscious decision. You have to decide to love your hair wholly every day, even when it doesn't cooperate. You must care for it, nurture it, which is expensive but worthwhile. As hair goods are not universal, the appearance of a hair you love can drastically differ from another's. Where one may find joy in length, another man may seek health, another just hair that complies. Afro hair is diverse, and though these appearances range depending on the hair texture, but all appearances of expression deserve to be embraced. Learning to love your Afro hair again is purely individualized. However, it is helpful to take a day-to-day approach and actively appreciate your hair. from simply appreciating and complimenting your hair after investing in hair care maintenance and style products to watching YouTube videos surrounding hair care and love to reading pieces about learning to love, such as From Tolerating It to Enjoying It, How I Learned to Love My Afro Hair. I went from tolerating it to enjoying it. Women's Hair, The Guardian. These are only suggestions and could or could not work for you. What's important in what works for you, whether this is growing, cutting, locking, or braiding your hair, learning to unlearn, because hair is so much more than hair, because it's part of one's own identity. How it is loved is not universal. Premise of loving hair is caring, no matter how you show it. It,
Mm.
and it is also not impossible to appreciate natural Afro texture hair even if you don't have it. Be kind and compliment others' hair. Tell someone their hair looks nice and ask respectfully about the process of getting their hair done, or on a wider scale, support an organizations working to destigmatize the negative connotations of black hair, to enable change that makes it easier to live authentically with Afro hair.
I think that last paragraph is very true. Any thoughts from the group on this article about Afro hair?
I thought about when I wanted to put a perm to make my hair straight, and I thought it would look so good. And then the perm takes out my hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned now I don't do that anymore. I go with natural.
Your hair fell out? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's what those perms do.
Oh
it
my
burns
gosh.
your scalp. They leave it too long, it burns your scalp.
Yeah, the
You have,
Oh my
relaxers.
gosh.
That's when they were talking about the relaxers and just
yeah.
the craze to straighten your hair to look more Eurocentric.
Hmm.
These things, man. It's just I
Now
when
we learn.
the
Mhm.
more I learn, the more sad I feel because people really felt like their own hair was not beautiful.
Right.
The
I
way that.
feel that way, Alex, too. I
Mhm.
think as a black woman that we as black women are not proud of our hair. I think we have some of the prettiest hair there is, but most of them
Mhm.
got wigs on or they got extensions in it. Just wear your hair. God gave us what He wanted us to have and be proud of it. That's the way I feel.
Mhm.
I suffer from alopecia, so I lost all my hair, but it was because of a
Mhm.
disease that caused it to come out. So I have to, if I'm going to wear hair, I have to have a wig on because I have no hair of my own. But if you got beautiful head of hair, why hide it? I wish I had it, but I could wear my own. Oh my
Mhm.
God. What wouldn't I
Mhm.
give?
Right. So I mean, it's I love what you said because I have my hair
Mhm.
and I love
Mhm.
that I have it and it's a
Yeah.
blessing. It's an expression of yourself. And
Yeah.
great, hey, I hope when you wear those you feel like it's the olden days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, so love your hair. Even if it's not working out that day, still love your hair.
We all have bad hair day.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you, Lou, for reading that. I hope it was, for me, it was enlightening to just thinking about, something I may not have thought about growing up, but others that didn't look like me, they may have thought about it every day because of
Mhm.
society
Right.
and norms and all that stuff. So we're blessed in many ways.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, more hair textures, celebrating, the beauty of all textured hair types. You have straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair, or coily hair. I like
Mhm.
that phrase, coily hair.
Yeah.
Choosing the right products for different hair. Um, for there's a limited range of products for curly, coily, and wavy hair, but it's very vital. These are some vital factors. So,
Mhm.
you all purchase products for your hair, right? When you
Mhm.
for yourself. So there are things like protecting your hair. So textured hair requires protection from various stressors like heat styling, mechanical damage, UV rays. Look for products that contain UV filters, antioxidants, and heat protectants. So that's about protecting your hair,
Mhm.
and they help prevent future damage. Hydration is paramount for textured hair types. Again, would you agree or disagree? Let me know. Aloe vera, coconut oil, and
Yes.
hyaluronic acid in those
Gotta
ingredients.
hydrate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aloe vera. I love aloe vera. It's good for
Mhm.
not just your hair, but for a lot of things. Coconut oil and
Yes.
hyaluronic acid locks in moisture, maintains optimal levels. Which you all know about that hydration,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and in the days when I was growing up, they used Vaseline, or if you ran out
We
of Vaseline, they used lard.
Vaseline and castor oil.
The castor oil, lard, what you cook with, they put a little bit in the hands, rub it
Yeah.
real fine, and put it on your hair. You had
Mm-hmm.
to keep your hair hydrated, that's for sure.
hmm Yes, repairing hair, it says
Mhm.
here. Textured hair is often more prone to damage due to its unique structure. Prioritize products that contain ingredients that reduce split ends, strengthen the hair, make it more resilient against daily wear. So, is that true? These hair types over here are more prone to damage because of the way that they're textured?
Yeah.
I never really thought about it like that. I just thought it was a tighter curl, but I guess these textures here are a bit more sensitive. Is that correct?
Mhm. Mhm.
To
Yeah.
certain
Yeah,
products
Oh,
and methods?
those
yeah.
chemicals change the texture of the hair.
Yeah.
So if
Mhm.
Uh,
I had like a little curly hair, now my hair is more of a wiry type hair, you know.
uh-huh.
The chemical.
But when I was a little girl, my aunt used to make something called she made it like Glover's mane.
Mhm.
It,
Yeah.
and it came the grease
Yep.
came in a
Uh-huh.
white and blue can,
Mhm.
and I don't know if it was tar or what it was. It smelled awful,
It did.
but
I know what you're
it
talking
made your
about.
hair grow,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
and it took care of it.
Yeah.
But when she started sending me to the hairdresser, I had already been to Washington D.C. once before I moved here, and she pressed my hair, greased it, washed my hair, greased. I said, "Look, I got to walk up this dirt road to get to the house. By the time I get there, I'm gonna have to come back and get my hair washed again
Watch it
because
again. I
you
know
done
what you're
put
saying.
a whole can of grease in my hair." Because using that hot comb was
Mhm.
okay because when you wash your hair will go back to the texture, but
Uh-huh.
those chemicals took a lot out of it.
Yeah.
you know it took a lot out of it. If I could just add this, so the top part of my hair is going a little bald now, right?
Oh, it's so
And I
beautiful.
had locks for 25 years and had it every which style I could do it. And it
Mhm.
pulled on the follicles, which
Yeah.
makes you have like something
Uh-huh.
like folliculitis.
hmm
That's
Mm-hmm.
very, a lot of inflammation in the follicles and scalp area. Well, long story short, I went to the dermatologist and they gave me 20 needles in the top of my head
Yeah.
to help bring the hair back,
Mhm.
and it's growing back, thank God. But it's new hair now, so guess what? It's growing straight. It's not
Mm-hmm.
curly. It's not nappy or anything. It's just
Oh,
straight hair growing. So,
Mm-hmm.
you
oh,
know, and I think a lot of times the things that you eat
Yeah.
yes. The
and
things
you
that you
use
eat.
anything you put in your body will affect everything in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just so you talked about the hydration yesterday and how that's so important. You got to hydrate your hair and you got to hydrate your body.
Yeah.
So because the hair comes from your body. So,
If
Yeah.
and the best way to do that is when you buy products, even for food, what are the first ingredients? The first three ingredients will tell you if it's healthy or not. It should
yes.
say water for
Mm-hmm.
hydration, shampoo, and condition. Water
Mm-hmm.
should be the first thing that you see. But you
Mm-hmm.
see a long word that you can't pronounce, which means those are synthetic chemicals.
Oh yes. If you don't if there's most of the ingredients you may not know by looking at it, it may not be the most natural thing. So thank you for sharing that, Miss Wanda, and your
You're welcome.
experience. We appreciate that. Yes, textured hair can experience moisture loss, as we kind of talk about hydration here, dryness, frizz, loss of natural shine. So you might want to find ingredients like shea butter, argan oil, and glycerin that replenishes moisture, improves elasticity, and reduces or restores natural luster. It revitalizes your hair, leaving it soft, supple, and beautifully rejuvenated. So yes, I hope this is what you think of when you buy or purchase products for your hair, protecting, hydrating, repairing, and restoring. Let's take a look at some hair care lessons from a hairologist. This is a video from 4 years ago, a Congolese hairologist. And I hope you all learned something new.
Le terme crépu, quand on parle du cheveu afro, c'est une insulte. Pourquoi? Parce que, en fait, dans la terminologie, quand on parle de crépu, c'est pour décrire le poil d'une bête.
Yeah. I'll just replay
Le
it.
terme crépu, quand on parle du cheveu afro, c'est une insulte. Pourquoi? Parce que, en fait, dans la terminologie, quand on parle de crépu, c'est pour décrire le poil d'une bête.
Animal hair. I never realized.
Je m'appelle Sibentoum et je suis cheveutologue. Cheveutologue, c'est une personne qui s'occupe du soin de la peau et des cheveux selon les techniques ancestrales. En fait, pour une femme noire, qu'elle soit apprêtée ou pas, donc elle ait pris le temps de faire un soin des cheveux ou pas, on dira toujours qu'elle a le cheveu crépus, en sachant que si vous prenez le temps de regarder un enfant noir lorsqu'il naît, il n'est jamais né avec le cheveu crépus.
True?
Il va naître avec le cheveu soit lisse,
That's true.
soit ondulé, soit bouclé, mais jamais crépus. C'est au bout
But
de quelques
never
années.
frizzy. The
Mm-mm.
hair will start to kink or frizz after a few years. Is that true?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know in my
que le cheveu va commencer
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I learned this video is so interesting.
à crêper. Les anciens maîtrisaient ces choses-là, que ce soit au niveau de la coiffure ou du soin du cheveu. Il faut aussi un peu connaître l'histoire. C'est que quand les Grecs anciens ont vu les premiers noirs, ils ont dit qu'on avait des cheveux doux comme de la laine.
What do y'all think of that?
Mm-hmm.
Greeks, when they said they had hair as soft as wool.
Mm-hmm.
Ça, c'était avant la colonisation. Donc ça prouve bien qu'il y a quelque chose qui ne va pas.
Look at that.
J'avais déjà une grande connaissance dans le domaine, mais je pense que j'avais pas pris complètement l'ampleur de tout le patrimoine qui a été effacé avec l'histoire. Lorsque j'ai imaginé la masterclass avec Annecy, je me suis dit vraiment il faut qu'on puisse faire ça dans une école.
See how he's doing her hair?
Alors en fait, j'ai décidé de partager le fruit de mes recherches. Pourquoi? Parce qu'il faut démocratiser au maximum ces informations-là. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, on est noyé dans plein d'informations. Moi-même, j'utilise Internet, j'utilise les réseaux sociaux pour que mon message soit le plus viral possible. Mais il y a aussi d'autres messages qui arrivent et de faire en sorte qu'on atteigne, entre guillemets, cette masse critique qui va faire que demain, toute personne saura que ces techniques-là existent. Et de là, chacun aura le choix, soit de continuer à utiliser des produits chimiques, soit de retourner.
Continue to use chemicals or return to an ancestral techniques. I'd rather go with the techniques.
Yes.
à l'ancestralité, mais avec une approche moderne. Alors, 3 conseils pour reprendre sa chevelure en main et garder son africanité.
Everybody has
La
to
première chose pour garder son africanité, selon moi,
First, we need to respect our elders.
Yeah.
de respecter nos anciens, de ne pas hésiter à les titiller, c'est-à-dire à chaque fois à les toquer, poser des questions et autres, parce qu'ils ont pas mal de connaissances, parfois qu'ils ont enfouies ou qu'on leur a obligé à enfouir. Le deuxième, c'est d'écouter son corps. Il n'y a pas de produit miracle.
Listen to your
C'est
body.
pour vous, il y a certains produits qui sont adaptés pour vous. Et la troisième chose, c'est de faire preuve
Consistent and patience.
de régularité et de patience. Parce qu'il faut bien comprendre qu'on a la plupart du temps dégradé nos cheveux et notre peau, et que quand on veut la réparer, ça va prendre du temps avec des produits naturels, mais c'est durable. Donc comme c'est durable, eh bien, il va falloir être régulier, y croire et ne jamais hésiter à poser des questions.
Never hesitate to ask questions. What do y'all think of this video?
I think it's good.
Oh,
Quite enlightening, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of what he's saying, they used to talk about the older
Mhm.
ladies and when I was a child about hair and so.
Yeah, and the natural stuff. I still use rosemary and cloves, and then I make a liquid and spray it twice a day.
Mm.
You don't even have to boil it. You just put it in a little glass jar overnight and strain it the next day.
Would you be willing to share that in chat or have them sent out in an
Oh,
email? Because
you
Oh,
I'm
yes.
suffering from alopecia myself very badly, and I cut all of it off, but I would like to get my hair back.
you can look on the YouTube.
Yes, I'll have uploaded this later on this week, but yes, I just put the link to that particular video in the chat, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That wasn't speaking about the chat and specifically what she was saying, the product that she's making and using
The
herself.
rosemary, you can use the fresh ones or the dry. Two
Okay.
tablespoonful of rosemary and a teaspoon of clove. The one you put
Okay.
in the ham,
Okay. Okay.
and you
That's
put
what I
it
wanted to
in a
make sure.
bottle and leave it for overnight, and then you strain it. And I put it in a spray bottle, and I use that to spray, and it makes a difference.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Miss Louise, for being so helpful, and thank you for asking. They shared ask questions. You asked that question. I know that's right. You got this.
I
Um,
my daughter is a hairstylist, a loctician, and colorist, and all of that. You know, she went to school for
hmm
that, as she's also a nurse. So she makes something called organic stimulation, and it's true. A lot of the things that we use um, are man-made, right? But
Mm-hmm.
man-made it with some other chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up in the country, you know, and our ancestors, all their medicine and everything came from the ground.
The bush.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I
hmm
say ground, I mean the earth, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
know.
hmm
And so my daughter takes, uh, things like rosemary and tea tree and
Yeah.
shea butter, and she takes vitamin E and aloe vera and all of that, and she blends it all together to
Yeah.
make cream to
Mm-hmm.
use and a liquid, and it makes a difference. You can tell the difference. Like if you go to the store and just buy hair grease, your hair is, if your hair is not itching or tingling, it's not working, right? So, it helps, and
Mhm.
stress does not, your health plays a big part in it.
Of course, and
Yes,
you're
it
and
You
you're
does.
know,
you're yeah.
if you're stressing, there are things that are going to make your hair fall out with
Mm-hmm.
stress. If
Yeah.
you're wearing wool hats and you have wool coats, you'll notice that around the perimeter, your edges and the back are going to come out from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's good to have like a satin pillow.
Mhm.
If you can't keep a scarf on your head at night when you sleep, just have a satin pillow or
Yeah.
satin
hmm
inside of your hat so it doesn't pull, because acrylic that's are in hats also will pull your hair out,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
along with the
Oh,
scarves that you put around your neck when it's cold.
Yes.
oh,
So,
oh
and
my goodness.
medication. That's why it's
Yeah,
good to read the
Definitely medication would do it.
all of them.
medication will take your hair out too.
Some will. That's why you got to ask when you receive it to know those side effects and just yes, your health matters. What you put in your body matters. Oh my goodness. I love it that is amazing, and that's why we gotta have hair is a way of storytelling, bonding. Braids, are often done in groups. It was storytelling time, news sharing time, laughter time, community building. It was sacred. It connected the spiritual and the physical. So first up, we have some beautiful braids, then and now. Cornrows, which is an ancient protective style.
Mm-hmm.
Box braids, Fulani braids, Ghana braids, and these are protective styling traditions.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think of braids?
Yeah, I'm wearing cornrow right now.
I loved
Uh-huh.
when I was a child and they put them in
My
my
daughter did it for me this 2 days ago.
Mhm. Let's watch a little bit of this video, the history of braids and bands on black hair. I thought this video was quite interesting and quite telling.
Braids are not just a hairstyle for many women, they tell a story that has completely shaped entire cultures for thousands of years. And for many Black women, that story has often become a source of controversy and celebration alike. To understand how braids became so rooted in Black hair culture, let's go back to where it all began, Africa. In 15th century West Africa, hair was an identifier. It was a way to distinguish a person's age, religion, rank, marital status, and even family groups.
Didn't we just learn that as well?
Yeah.
And braids played a big part in that, and not just on an individual level. Since intricate braiding styles often took hours or even days to complete, it was a time of bonding and community between women. During the slave trade, everything changed. As Africans were brought to the New World, their heads were often shaved for sanitary reasons. Africans not only lost their hair, but a part of their identity.
Isn't that so devastating?
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh my goodness. Like, well, Lou, I hope you've been learning and seeing a lot, but imagine if you had to come to this country and they shaved all your hair off.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, have mercy.
Though braids weren't completely lost during slavery, many enslaved Africans started braiding their hair once again as a way to stay connected to their culture and keep their hair neat and tidy while working on plantations. Without the products and treatments typically used in Africa, Africans relied on bacon grease, butter, and kerosene instead of conditioners and cleaners. But this was just a small example of a larger sentiment that revolved around traditional African hairstyles. As slavery ended, Black women in America opted for straight hair, or good hair, conforming to a European standard of beauty. Good hair was a perceived doorway to opportunity, and Black women with straight hair were considered better adjusted or more accepted by their white counterparts. By the 1960s, race relations were on the rise, and Black activists and artists alike turned to their hair as a form of expression during the Black Power movement. Natural hair was making a comeback, and braids were at the forefront of this return. Cicely Tyson became the first woman to wear cornrows on television.
Who knew? Cicely Tyson, first woman to wear cornrows on television.
I remember.
We just saw Cicely Tyson in when we watched that documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know that. First woman to wear cornrows on TV. Cicely Tyson.
East Side, West Side. Some say she sparked a natural hair movement, and Black women started to follow suit. Hair was no longer associated as a source of shame, but a symbol of celebration. And the world started to notice. In 1979, Bo Derek made headlines by sporting cornrows in the movie 10. She was given full credit for the look, and it wasn't long before cornrows were known as bow braids and began taking over the mainstream hair market. People magazine called it a cross-cultural craze and a beauty store bonanza, while the same look on a Black person was called ghetto or unpretty. In the workplace, braids were frowned upon, and many women lost their jobs over the hairstyle. Thousands of
Isn't that crazy? Losing a job.
Cases like this popped up. Employers argue that this style did not fit the corporate image. They were afraid of the statement they thought braids made. They didn't understand them, and so they banned them. But for every setback, there was also a step forward. And no one knows that better than Sergeant Jasmine Jacobs, who spearheaded the White House petition to overturn the ban on natural hairstyles in the military. Who
I didn't know that either.
would have known that an Army girl can fight, but can't do it with her hair twisted? So what about me, where I'm at? No. What's wrong with what I have?
Your braids would be considered like a style because like they're parted in the middle and then like going out to the sides. Your braids had to go straight back. I remember asking my first sergeant what I was supposed to do with my hair if these regulations go into effect, and she told me to get a wig. But the wording in the regulation is that the wig has to mimic your natural texture, but you've outlawed my natural textures.
Wow.
So you really just want my hair to be straight. Like, just say that.
Yeah.
We're all friends here.
Here's how it went down.
She just told her just get a wig.
And that too will take your hair out.
That's something, right?
Put a cap
The
on
U.S.
her.
Army updated.
That's just something, ain't it, right there? You could be fighting for the country, but you can't have your hair twisted. What?
Their grooming standards for female troops, banning a number of natural hairstyles as a way to maintain uniformity within a military population. This include twists, dreadlocks, and large cornrows, and use terms like matted and unkempt to describe the unacceptable styles. How would you explain to the everyday person who may know absolutely nothing about natural hair care or black hair what this ban meant?
It's a ban that for the most part is saying that your hair can't be the way it naturally is. And I think what's really important to understand is that it's supremely unhealthy to not wear your hair naturally. A lot of people maybe didn't realize that it was like, hey, either you can cover your hair in like damaging like sew-ins or weaves, or you can chemically straighten it, or you can wear a wig, which I don't trust a wig staying on like when you're wearing a combat helmet.
I don't trust a wig, period. So in combat, that's the last place I want to wig.
The last place.
Exactly. And how like detrimental is that to someone's psyche?
Especially coming from the military, because it was like, hey, you're good enough to go to war and potentially not come back, but we don't support even like the very kind of like foundation of who you are. I just didn't want to leave that kind of stigma for like our future generations.
Jasmine first.
Like, thank goodness for her. Thank goodness. This is recent times. Jasmine first noticed the ban circulation on April 1st, 2014. This was just about 10 years ago.
First noticed the ban circulating on April 1st, 2014. She thought it was the worst April Fool's Day joke ever.
We had seen a draft of it. It was kind of like, well, this can't be true. And then the actual ban started to come into effect right around April Fool's Day. And so I was like, the army's not funny. Y'all aren't even good at this.
Y'all have no sense of humor.
At one point, I was just kind of like, you know what, if this is real, like I'm gonna start a petition. And I honestly thought that I would start the petition just as like an excuse to kind of like complain. And then maybe like 50 friends would sign it. I always feel like you can't complain about something unless you try to change it. And so really I was just trying to like earn my complaints. It actually went very differently, so that was good.
It definitely went incredibly, very, very differently.
After a couple of news shows, that's when Congress got involved. And that's when like change actually happened.
Right. Now we've got the government like in it. They're in it. They're in it. What happens after?
I wish we had some more time, but isn't that very from Braids, from
Oh my goodness.
Wonderland to now? That was so interesting. Any thoughts?
Wow.
Cicely Tyson wearing cornrows and a sergeant making change with a petition in the military.
Well, just to share some of my family history, my great great grandfather was a barber, and he had a shop on Main Street in Washington, North Carolina. His wife had a beauty shop right in the same building with him, and she was Caucasian and Indian, okay? And she did the first finger wave. And so I, being the historian for my family, try to keep all the information about our family and everything going, because there are so many people in my family who are hairstylists and barbers. And they think that's just because they like it. It's in their blood, right? And at a time back then, you know, in the early 30s and 40s, of course, that was like, wait a minute. We have this couple, they're doing hair on Main Street, and it's an interracial relationship, right? But it just tells you how times, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that comes up goes down and comes back around again.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, braids will be forever, ain't it?
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that, Miss Wanda, and your history. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We have Locs now, spiritual and cultural meaning. And Lou, I'm not sure if you're there, but I'd love for you to share.
Sure. Ancient origins across Africa, spiritual symbolism, patience and journey, traditional locks, sister locks, and freeform locks.
Which was your favorite here pictured? I try to get a variety of different people, but I think they're all beautiful.
They are.
I like the gray. I love when folks embrace the gray.
Me too.
It's showing of your knowledge.
Right. It's an honor. It's an honor to have gray hair.
Yes, yes. We'll watch a little bit of this. Love your locks, some myths and misconceptions.
Dreads, locks, twists, no matter what you've heard them called, chances are you probably recognize the style when you see it. Whether splashed across Bob Marley album covers or seen in everyday life, locks, also known as dreadlocks, are one style that has a knack for capturing attention. And while most of us have encountered locks on other people, there's still a lot of folks who don't know about the actual style or the people who choose to wear it. One factor is that for some, education about locks begins and ends with how we see it portrayed in pop culture. While it's true that groups like Rastafarians may opt for locks, they are only part of a much larger community. One person who is currently raising her voice when it comes to locks is Ashley Acuna. She is the creator and host of The Grapevine, a web show that is geared towards creating meaningful discussions between cultures. And today, she is going to share with me what she wants the world to know about how she chooses to wear her hair. It's one of the world's most highly recognizable and often misunderstood hairstyles. Now it's time to dive beyond the surface of dreadlocks, minus the dread. This is Maine, and today we are diving into the real stories behind locks.
Get here. So when I was a child, I had a perm like most black girls. That my mom put a relaxer in my hair every like 2 months. I would go through like the pain of the heat when you put the relaxer and like the new growth. And I found a hairstylist, this Jamaican lady, and she was like, you need to put a perm in your hair like once a month. And like I was like, okay. It didn't sound right to me, but I was like, okay. And then my hair started to thin. And I went from like long hair like up to here, thick hair, to like I had to cut it like up to here, and I was like, F this, I don't want this anymore. So I put like micro braids in my hair, and I started the process of going natural. And then I kind of got
Those micro braids started the process of going natural. Can you believe relaxers and then putting a perm in your hair every month?
tired of like the Afros. And then I went to a festival in Philly called the Doomsday Festival, and I saw all these women with like beautiful locks, and I was just like, wow, like I want this for myself.
Look at these. Aren't those pretty?
I was just in awe of like all the different colors. Like, I remember this woman, she had like really long locks that were burgundy. And I just remember feeling like I thought locks were limiting, and they really are like limitless. Like, and that's what I realized when I went to the festival. I think I was just able to view myself as a woman and coming into my own, and you know, having gone through having a mother who wanted me to have certain type of hair and always kind of dictating where I went to do my hair, and then finding my own hairstylist and totally fucking that up, fucking my hair up completely. And then kind of realizing like, okay, let me go back to who I am, shave it all off, look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, this is me. I accept it.
Faux locks.
Yes. Faux locks. See, I have a love-hate relationship with faux locks because...
Well, what do you all think of faux locks of the style? It is very pretty.
It's pretty.
I just kind of feel like it's the look without the struggle. Because I really do feel like when you lock your hair, it's a process on like self-love, because you have to learn how to accept yourself the way that you look in its like raw form, in your raw form. And I feel that, you know, when you kind of skip that,
you get all the glory.
Yeah, you get all the glory, but you don't get the internal glory, you know, which I think is worth it for especially Black women. But I don't judge anybody who gets faux locks. You know, a lot of like Jamaican aunties and uncles who are like more conservative look at locks as a form of, I don't know, negativity. The whole, like they call them dreadlocks, dreadful.
Right.
That's why I don't use that term, I just use locks.
Locks. Oh my goodness.
How is your hair care regime?
Yeah, they don't call them dreadful. They're not. They're full of beauty.
But those dread, I don't like dreadlocks.
Hers right here.
And someone like me, I keep my
So
locks
I love it.
I get them
It's so pretty.
like once every 2 months. Okay. So they're more neat.
I love the style. You can really style it any way you want with the hexagons or the squares, or you know, so pretty.
Freeform, you know, they're totally different.
We see Asian people with locks, white people with locks, and their journeys and their experiences tend to differ. Do you personally have an opinion on people outside of the Black community?
We can't police how people do their hair. Right. I understand the frustration, but for me, again, like we have certain universities where, like Black universities, where you can't wear locks and go to their business school.
Absolutely.
You can't be on their cheerleading team.
That would be Hampton.
So like stuff like that, that's very hurtful, because you come to like where you're supposed to be home with your people, and they're telling you like, no, like these African-centered hairstyles are not welcome. So that for me is more painful and more important. You know, going natural is saying like, I don't want to look like a white woman. Like I'm perfectly fine with the way I look, and there's a power and a confidence in that I want Black people to reclaim. And I think
that is something there, ain't it?
Looks good on her.
I love it. uh,
Oh, that looked like Shaka Khan.
let's go on to the Afro, a symbol of power. The 60s and 70s. The Black Pride movement, Black is beautiful. And the Afro was a political statement. They have
Hmm.
this quick video here on Afros.
The story behind Doug and Aaron's Afros
Feel like
is bigger than
grownish?
just style. For generations, black hair was just
Look,
too much for
that
white
is
beauty
TJ
standards.
Walker.
And many black people felt pressed to fit in. Then in the 60s, the Black Power movement gave momentum to a cultural revolution. Black women refused to straighten the natural kink and curl out of their hair. They said goodbye to hot irons and relaxers and decided to defy gravity. In the barbershop, conservative Caesars grew out into radiant crowns. As time marched on, the Afro became a symbol of black pride, embraced by activists, politicians, athletes, and musicians. Today, the Afro has grown from the fringes
Wow.
to the mainstream, ever
Remember the
expansive and
Jackson 5.
unrestrained.
Look, Afros is here to stay forever.
Keep honoring the roots of our roots.
Their Afros are a symbol of black pride.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Lou, we're almost done. Please finish us off.
Sure. Hair in the civil rights movement. Natural hair as resistance. Workplace and school discrimination, respectability politics, the Crown Act, and modern protections. Yeah, we read a little bit about the Crown Act.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What country was that? Is that UK?
It's US and UK.
Oh.
Yes. So this is just a little bit about
We're
it.
back now with a movement to fight discrimination based on how people wear their hair. We've seen the stories, black children being forced to remove their braids, even having their hair cut without parental permission, allegedly due to a school dress code. Well,
There's so
now a
many of
new
these
bill could
stories.
stop that from happening. GMA contributor Megan Wright is here with the story. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning. The legislation is called the Crown Act and helps to stop prejudice in schools and workplaces. This segment is sponsored by Dove, one of the leaders of the movement to get the law passed. I spoke to an Oscar winner and a young girl who are also joining the fight against this kind of injustice. Take a look.
Curls, twists, braids, and locks. These natural hairstyles are popular in the black community. But many workplaces and schools have policies that discourage them. But there's a growing movement to hopefully change that. Filmmaker Matthew Cherry created the animated short film Hair Love. The 7-minute short tells the story of a father learning how to do his daughter's hair for the first time.
That was so much fun.
The film earning Cherry an Oscar and a platform that he used to introduce audiences to new legislation.
Hair Love was done because we wanted to see more representation in animation. We wanted to normalize black hair. There's a very important issue that's out there. It's the Crown Act.
The Crown Act is a bill that demands protection against race-based hair discrimination in the workplace and in schools. The word crown holds the message, creating a respectful and more open world for natural hair.
Now you know what crown stands for.
A lot of different ethnic groups, it's not even anything they have to think about. They're able to, wear their hair how they want to, get up in the morning, go to work, go to school, and, nobody bothers them. For black people and people with natural textured hair, it's an issue.
Matthew Cherry is a spokesperson for our...
Even just with that section right there. Any thoughts? I'm glad it's come a long way since then. Yes. What I'll say for this, there is no good or bad hair. You got to think about hair health and your hair length, and your you got to know your hair. So your texture diversity everywhere from 1A to 4C. It's good to know your hair so you know how to take care of it. Right? So from 1A to 4C. It was the press and comb era, relaxers, chemical straightening, but we learned about the natural hair movement, and we're able to embrace our hair so much, in today's world, which is amazing. So it's the self-love movement. Hair is art and expression, beads, accessories, color, sculpted, Festival looks. You can be so creative as you want to be. And Lou, please finish us off, and then we'll watch one video with the lady here.
Sure. Celebrating our crowns. Hair is legacy. Hair is survival. Hair is pride. And hair is beauty. A closing reflection. What does your crown mean to you?
What do you all think before we watch this last video here?
Beauty.
Beauty?
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. It's nothing to me prettier than a beautiful head of hair.
Yeah.
Natural hair. Natural.
Yes.
For
Love it.
me, I think it's a spiritual connection as well.
Yeah.
It is. Spiritual connections. Braiding is storytelling, bonding. It's a sacred practice. Yes. Thank you all so much. Let's looky here. So this was from 7 years ago. There was a 99-year-old beautician still styling hair in the state of Tennessee. She has passed away. She passed away at 102, but she worked until the day she passed.
Sound like my mom.
99-year-old beautician. This was from 7 years ago.
Most of us look forward to retirement, spending our golden years traveling or just hanging with the grandkids. But one Memphis great-grandmother is getting ready to celebrate her 100th birthday and still taking appointments.
I work because this is what I've enjoyed doing all my life. From a little girl, I always loved messing with my sisters' hair. They had beautiful hair. And I always enjoyed doing this.
Callie Terrell loves making women look and feel good.
I feel good. Well, when I do it again, maybe pay more.
Mrs. Terrell now only works to keep busy and to satisfy a few longtime customers like her daughter, Inez. She's 99 years old and anxiously awaiting her 100th birthday in November.
And if I give out my birthday to people, you have to pay for it. November 26th.
How old will you be?
100. How about that?
Her zeal for life is amazing, and so is her work ethic. WREG checked the state of Tennessee, and they first issued her license to operate on January 30th, 1945.
Wow.
She rents space in a salon
know,
now,
right?
but once had her own thriving business. She's outlived almost all of her customers.
People my age that I used to buddy with, I don't have a single one. I was in a bridge club. I'm the only one in the club that's living.
Work is part of her secret to longevity.
I'm not used to just being up in the house. See, I work so long. I just been around people. So I enjoy being with people and doing something exciting. Most old people, they're so dry and droll. I can't deal with that. I gotta live and I do the things that make me happy.
Working brings her joy, but she plans to finally retire at the end of the year. But she says, don't expect to find her sitting around the house doing nothing.
I just be waiting on somebody to call and say, Callie, you busy? And I said, no, what is it? Well, come on over here. We doing so-and-so. And I jump in the car and go, you want to do something.
And she is still driving. In fact, her daughter, whose hair you saw her styling there, stopped driving years ago. Miss Callie is not only her chauffeur, he's also her hairstylist.
It's hysterical.
Yes.
You know, we were talking earlier, you said she got her license back in 1945, so let's see, Harry Truman was president way back then. Do we need to call Guinness?
Well, I don't know about calling Guinness, but the state of Tennessee says with the filing system they have, she is actually the oldest licensed cosmetologist in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone around to challenge her.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And she'll probably be around for many more years to come.
Yeah, well, she passed away when she was 102, so bless her heart. What did you think, Lou, of that clip?
I think of how staying active in your life and keeping the Lord's mission alive within you is the key to longevity. That's a beautiful story.
Yes, it is.
I was so happy to see it. When I see it, I was like, oh, I got to show this to them because this is just beautiful. And, you know, You can do anything you put your mind to. I always say that, but
Mhm.
I hope you all learned something new about your hair, about and life and just history, a little, about society, and hope you embrace your natural hair. Thank you all so much for today. I hope we did a good job and you
Thanks,
all learned a
Alex.
lot.
That was a unique topic.
That was
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Let's all thank Lou for
Thank
hosting.
you, Lou.
Thank you.
Oh, thank Alex. He put it together. Thanks, Alex.
Thank
And
you,
thank you
Alex.
all for your
My pleasure.
participation.
Thank
We
you.
learned
Thank
so
you,
much from you
everyone.
guys. Thank you. We'll see you at 1:30 for Module 1.
Good to see you, little rascals.
Thank
Good
you
to
all
see you,
so
Ron.
much.
All right.